Intraday traders, day traders, introducing the ultimate tick bars, the ultimate order flow bars, and the smart super Renko bars for NinjaTrader. Ultimate tick bars and ultimate order flow bars are two sides of a coin. One benefits from overall ticks in the market, and the other from actual bid-ask orders. In earlier versions of NinjaTrader was not capable of doing this. And so we have a newer bar type, the ultimate order flow bar. I first developed these bars over 10 years ago, and they have stood the test of time. Our initial development with NinjaTrader was based on these bars, and so they have a long history. Both of them, the ultimate order flow bar and the ultimate tick bar, let you see how order flow is moving at a bar level. And you can also analyze, of course, over spaces of time on the chart, or spaces or structures on the chart. And we're going to get into that a little bit. This also means the data that you feed your indicators is based on actual market pressure. This is a super important concept when selecting a bar type. What are you feeding your indicators? As a result, these bars are not random like many other price bars, as we'll see. Many of our customers have gotten both these bar types, the ultimate order flow bar and the ultimate tick bar, and there's a discount for both. So if you choose only one, personally, I'd start with the UTB. Tons of people have those, and then the ultimate order flow bar second. If you already have the UTB, you can get a discount on that. And I think I'll cover that a bit again, some more as we go. Yeah. Smart Super Renko bars are what we call a structured bar. This is another bar type that we've developed that's in its second evolution, and it has functionalities with it that make it very powerful that are also part of the ultimate order flow bars and the ultimate tick bars. When we talk about referencing it, we'll get into some of those kinds of features and functionalities. Yeah, they enable you to be very scientific and pattern classify, among other benefits, different trade setups using bar technology that we've developed over the last 10 years every single day in our trading room. All of these bars. Yeah, so all of our bars are back testable. What you see is what you get. They have offsets and referencing capabilities as mentioned, and they're also capable of working in tick replay, which is an important capability and functionality. And we'll cover these topics also additionally as we go. My name is Rob Mitchell, and I made my career as a trader largely with order flow analysis. And that's why when I approached NinjaTrader as a platform and its capability of having custom bars within it, that I started with that, with the ultimate tick bar. Yeah. And this enabled me to become one of the largest traders in the world at various times and to win World Cup trading championships. Yeah. So in this presentation, I'm going to show you some really cool things about price bars and how it can make a difference in your trading. I'm also going to provide you with a special link at the end of the video to further resources for understanding advanced bar patterns and applications that can make a big difference in your trading. So stay tuned to the end and get that resource. Yeah. So when it comes to technical analysis, whether it be technical, strategic, tactical, nothing is more important than the bar type. That's where you start because you're making a choice there as to what it is that you're feeding to your indicators. And depending on the situation, that can be very, very important. And in other situations, perhaps a little bit less. A price bar can be thought of as a filter. It lets you see certain things and hide other things. Yeah. And it can bring high levels of detail. At some point in the spectrum between these two areas, you go down into more and more detail. Market noise, as you go down into that detail, can become so prevalent as to feed your indicators random data. Yeah. Random data. So, for example, in the simplest form, there are two basic types of technical analysis: trending and counter trending trading. Yeah, so some bar types are better for counter trend trading and some may be better for trend market analysis. Yeah, many traders will choose a bar type based on what they read in a book or what's available in their charting package arbitrarily, without really giving it a lot of thought. You know, and I'm suggesting that maybe give it some thought, and that's what we're going to be covering, some of that kind of stuff. Yeah, so there's 3 basic bar types developed by IndicatorSmart that I developed to help with this spectrum and to put you in a place where you're feeding your indicators good data, you have the capability of feeding good data to your indicators, and that it's optimized to the best ability to read what's happening in the market without too much noise. And the bar types we use are highly evolved technology for market analysis and are absolutely no accident. These things didn't happen by accident, it's by design. And so all of the price bars from IndicatorSmart, the 3 that we're talking about here, ultimate order flow bars, ultimate tick bars, and the Smart Super Renko bars, are designed to close at or near their high or low, depending on the direction that the market's moving. And so in the case of the Smart Super Renko bar, they specifically close at the high or the low of the price bar. In the case of the ultimate tick bar, the ultimate order flow bar, that I might call UTB or UOFB going forward here, the bars are designed to close also at their high or low, but they could conceivably close off of that level, in which case it's telling you the bar is not under pressure at closing. So this information's usable in your trading and your design. Yeah. Before going into more details of that, about how each of these bar types can benefit you by feeding your indicators the best data, let's consider various basic bars that are provided arbitrarily in your charting package that engineers put into charting packages. There's 4 basic bar types available in NinjaTrader. There's some others in there, but tick bars, volume bars, time-based, and range-based bars. Yeah. Note how these images, or we're going to look at some images of these things that show different bar types. Yeah, and we're going to see how the bricks form on the candlesticks with them. Yeah, and so when a brick closes in the middle of a bar, as it will with some of these, we're going to look at a table that shows some research on this. Yeah, we've analyzed these bar types to see how effective they were in feeding our indicators data that would not be random at a bar level, because we want it to be in our favor when we do that. So this table here at the top left there, we got volume bars, and it doesn't matter which, these is scalable. Yeah, I could use more volume bars, more tick bars, time bars, and range bars. Yeah. So the question in each of these different categories, each of these are different market conditions, and it looks at how often do these bars close. How often do these bars close at the directional extreme with the direction that the market is moving in? And the answer is, in general, at about 32% of the time. Yeah, so only about 1/3 of the time do they close at their directional extreme. For a tick bar, it's even lower than that. For a time-based bar, it's even lower than that, only about 12%. That's pretty astonishing. Yeah. Almost never closes at its extreme. Now, that's a pretty interesting thing. We could leave that topic for another time. Yeah. So on range bars, they tend to close at their extreme about 72% of the time. Yeah, 72% of the time. On ultimate tick bar, ultimate order flow bar, Smart Super Renko bars, and it closes at those extremes almost all the time. Yeah, super important concept. So bar types like volume tick bars, time-based bars will close at their high or low much less than 50% of the time. This means other bar types present only random representations or worse than random representations on a candlestick chart. Further, in our trend research, we found tick bars close at their high or low 25%, volume bars 32%, time-based bars 12%, right? So that's summarizing what we just saw on the table. Range-based bars close in the directional extreme about 75% of the time, but the problem with range-based bars is that they give up or lose substantial resolution in exchange for this one trait. And I was talking earlier about noise with the bar. Either it's hiding something or it gets too noisy, and you got to find that sweet spot. Super important concept there. On your after you've chosen a bar to get it scaled correctly to the market. Yeah. All the normal or arbitrary bar types are highly variable and inconsistent. Smart Renko, Smart Super Renko, UTBs, ultimate order flow bars are super consistent, close to 100% of the time. Yeah, so means you're feeding the data from these bars to your indicators. And so make sure that you are feeding data that is involved with pressure points in the market where there are active buyers and sellers instead of random, yeah, as may be the case with arbitrary bar types. Yeah. There's absolutely no mistake in this design, as we mentioned, and it relates to IndicatorSmart bar types. The indicators going way down to the chain from the bar type to the indicators. And that involves price action in the bar type itself, order flow, and the ability to read the order flow within the constraints of the bar. Momentum, support, resistance, and the entire chain is designed based on this and can result in exceptionally high probability or beneficial outcomes when compared to inputs from other bar types that are random. Yeah. In the above table that we looked at, the variance of the basic bar types went from about 90 to 434, huge variance. Yeah. The variance on an ultimate tick bar, ultimate order flow bar is about 8. Tiny fraction, less than 1/10 of the smallest of them. Yeah. So it's a 10-fold or better improvement in variability or randomness of the bars. This is very scientific, again, not by accident. So the question becomes, will you start with the absolutely most basic thing about setting up a chart with something supporting a more random reading, or are you going to do something that's going to feed clean data to your indicators? Because if you don't have that clean data go into your indicators, it randomizes it, and it's going to become much more difficult to identify tradable patterns. Yeah. Super important. So, as mentioned above, this is an overview. This topic could be a whole book. Yeah. But we'll maybe save that for another time. So let's turn our discussion now to the various IndicatorSmart bar types and give some overview as to which ones may be the best choice for different circumstances and types of market analysis. Yeah, Smart Super Renko bars for NinjaTrader. I call these a structured bar. Yeah, they work well with the Smart Patterns trading system from IndicatorSmart and all Smart Pattern trading system tools and other indicators from IndicatorSmart to a granular level. They're also suitable to many other applications and are an excellent bar for general purpose with many tradable patterns, relatively high probability off the bars themselves. Now, I had mentioned there would be a resource at the end of this, and that resource has a lot of different patterns and ways of understanding and reading bars. Yeah, super important. Price action. So the Smart Super Renko has capabilities beyond other Renko types. Yeah, we'll cover that right here. So 2 bars are generated based on, in the chart that we're going to see below, you got a couple bar types. So we have a reversal and a continuation bar. Yeah. This is a little blurry, but this was the image that I had here for you. Reversal bars, yeah. Traditionally, we have set these reversal bars to be bigger and the continuation bars to be half that size. On this particular chart, it's 10 ticks and 5 ticks, or 2 to 1. I would recommend that you learn to trade on a 2 to 1 to start with before going into other things. Sometimes I see folks send me similar types of bars that have huge amounts of overlap that don't represent real data. And that is super important not to do that. You don't want to be feeding your indicators data that never happened. Yeah, super important. On these bars, the close is going to be related to the open of the next bar. Super important. Reversal bar or continuation bar can be set to any range with a Smart Super Renko, any range. I could even make the reversal bars smaller than the continuation bars if I want to, any combination. And this is a great research tool if you're studying, for example, how order flow happens around turns. Yeah, This is another thing. These are incredible research bars, all of them actually. So the setting on the screenshot that we just looked at was 5 continuation and 10 reversal. 2-to-1, as mentioned. These bars have an offset capability. All the bars from IndicatorSmart have offset capability. What is this offset capability? You can set the bars to a certain number of ticks for doing research or offsetting on automated systems so that you can pick up liquidity that otherwise wouldn't have been available. This is a little bit of a abstract concept, but I can tell you right now that when you're trading a system that you've developed, it's absolutely imperative that you have liquidity there. Something needs to be able to fill your order without influencing the market to the point that invalidates your design. So these bars have offset capabilities, very powerful functionality. It also enables you to do research to see how much variability you have between one bar and a bar that's offset by a tick or 2 ticks or 3 ticks or 4 ticks, etc. I call these the blocks patterns. I want to have that resources in our trading room for what we call the blocks patterns. In addition to other things on the Smart Super Renko, if you're automating systems, it can be a significant advantage to access that liquidity. Another substantial benefit is the tick replay capability, also something that the ultimate order flow and ultimate tick bar can do. That's not normally possible with other bar types. This functionality enables you to see historical patterns or indicators down to the tick level on your chart historically. Super important. And so where an indicator is set to update each tick and syncs the indicators on your chart down to the tick level, substantial benefit can be. Super important. This bar type is excellent research tool if you study how markets turn. I've already mentioned that. So you can do detailed analysis, particularly of order flow or more momentum analysis in the minutia, down in the details. That can be a real game changer for those who know. If you'd like to learn advanced bar applications, you can consider the trading room. Because this is what we do in there. We're developing technology, trading technology development machine, the trading room. So why is bar referencing important? Well, if you're in a trading room, for example, doing a research collaboration or doing a research, we have hedge funds use our bars. Hedge funds absolutely love the ultimate tick bars and the ultimate order flow bars. When they're doing research projects together, they have to have the bars look the same on all the machines. Same thing with the trading room. Everybody wants to have the same chart, right? Well, that becomes important. And so we have bar referencing capabilities and many different types of bar referencing capabilities. Not just one. So you'll want the bars to match when you're working with somebody else over different locations. And so when you set referencing to any of the choices, the bars will sync from place to place, location to location, and they'll look the same and they'll give the same results. Super important for scientific application of trading technology. This also ensures that each time you load your charts, they'll be the same. If you set the referencing to the session, and so those things become super important too. Bar referencing eliminates this issue. If you're collaborating or you want your charts to always load the same, set referencing to the session or to a specific tick. If you're doing this and you have a difference from your collaborating partner, look to the referencing to get it set up the same. And that will resolve the differences. Which indicators work best with this bar type? Any of the smart pattern trading system indicators. Now, the trading room, when I first did the trading room, I intentionally created the Smart Renko bar, which has evolved into the Smart Super Renko bar with some of these advanced capabilities in it. And if you read the home page on IndicatorSmart, it talks about how those things end up getting put together. But we use different kinds of order flow tools and momentum tools and order flow momentum tools to be able to identify repeatable patterns in the market. And the reason for that is these tools have been designed to work together as an integrated whole, but then we also have tens of thousands of hours of working with them each day in the context of the trading room with large numbers of users giving feedback and also developing and sharing the concepts. Yeah. So far in this manual, we're going to turn to the ultimate tick bar and the ultimate order flow bar. So far in this manual, we've discussed a variety of concepts that also apply to the ultimate tick bar and the ultimate order flow bar. The UTBs are uniquely different from the smart Super Renko type because they show order flow pressure and order flow in such a way that you can see patterns in pressure and non-pressure based on the bar ranges and relative bar-to-bar relationships. Yeah, so the immediate bar itself, but then also bar-to-bar relationships. We're going to cover some of those different kinds of patterns that you can do with those. As a general rule, the bars will print small ranges where the market is moving aggressively. So if the market's trending, you get smaller bars. Where it's not, the bars will print wider or larger range bars. Yeah, the difference between these bars is a matter of the two bar types, ultimate order flow bar and ultimate tick bar, is one is based on actual orders in the market, the other is based on the tick volume, ticks versus the actual bid ask. Not one of these is necessarily better. It depends on the application. If it's very immediate, the metrics that I'm making are very immediate, I definitely want the ultimate order flow bar. If it's a little loosey-goosey, a little bit more, and I want to give it some breathing room, the tick bars are a little bit better for that. The tick bars generally generate more bars, yeah, per any given amount of action in the market. Yeah, but the ultimate order flow bar is based on actual buying and selling pressure at the extremes. So this bar is also designed to work in tick replay mode, etc. Yeah, super cool. The more traders that trade on a certain chart, the more likely it is to be random. Yeah, I've done whole webinars on the subject. Yeah, the bars will close at any random point on the chart in their range. Time-based bars are the most prominent example. Yeah. The fewer traders that trade on a given chart, the more meaningful and less random it will be. This is particularly true if a chart is based on directional volume. Yeah, directional volume, not the normal volume bars or tick bars. Yeah, directional volume or directional order flow. Volume is that actual pressure that moves the market. Yeah, net volume. Yeah, so it's crucial that you trade on bars that are best aligned with the way the market actually works, and that's really what this gets down to. How do markets work? And I want to feed my indicators data that is consistent with that working, the most fundamental, irreducible concept. Yeah. So further, it's important to know what your bar type is representing to you as it moves. The bars in the example setups that we're going to cover in a minute, we'll give some examples of that. Yeah, and I'll tell you what my favorites are. Yeah, of course, all these patterns in this article could possibly be traded on other types of price bars. They're just not likely to be as easy to see. Yeah, they could be. You could find the patterns in other bars, and they might not be as consistent. Yeah. So to make the patterns here clearer and easier to understand and to stack things more in your favor, we're going to define a simple trend concept. And the examples below use a simple concept of trend to provide for a context for your trading. So cycling higher highs and lows is an uptrend, with lower highs and lower lows is a downtrend. Yeah. And it's going to be pretty obvious when you look at the charts. Yeah. So we don't double our work here. The examples that are given for one side go along, equally apply in the opposing direction. The charts below are timed in Pacific time, and the day ends at 1:15 on the ES chart based on traditional pit session time. So with all that being said, let's go look at some setups here. Yeah, so this one's actually my favorite. I can almost trade on this all by itself, and I love it in combination with something else I'll get to in a minute. The chart we're about to look at, you're going to see an encompassing pattern. That's where a bar trades both sides of the bar immediately to its left. Now, you could also look at the bigger scale, but this basic encompassing bar. Yeah. What does that mean? It's a mini trap is what it is. So from a candlestick standpoint, call it a hammer. Yeah, because you're going to get a tail on the bar. And then because these bars close on their directional extreme, it's going to make a candlestick hammer. In fact, these bars greatly simplify traditional candlestick patterns if you've ever studied those. Yeah. So, okay, here's a chart. Yeah, gonna start trending up. Green, red, green, higher. Yeah, and you come back down, retrace a little bit here, and we get an encompassing bar. This green bar takes out the low of that bar, and it's equal with the high right there, and the market continues higher. Now, I could sub-classify this into, does it take out the whole tail or just the brick? Yeah, a tail on a bar is could be considered as excess, and so I like to use just the bricks. Yeah. So have I encompassed the brick to the left? In that case, yeah. You get one in here, a little higher, and a nice one down in here. This is a trap. You'll generally see the tail, and then you take both sides. Yeah. This one here being a blow off. Yeah. Being a blow off. So encompassing pattern. Yeah. So we're going to see the hammer taking over the bar. Now let's look at this one. And I marked out each of those places that we just talked about. I also marked here the ones in the counter. Yeah. The counter trend. But I prefer that you be getting a red, green, red, or a green, red, green before you start going short. Yeah. This would be naked shorting. Yeah. Naked shorting up in here. Okay, setup number 2, tail against the trend pattern. When we get tails against the trend, it tells us traders are trapped or they're fading. Yeah, they're fading. When these traders stop orders can provide fuel to the benefit of those that are trading with the trend. Yeah, and the tail on the bars are the clue that the fuel is there. In other words, it's telling you that there are parties present in the counter. Yeah, there are parties present. And this kind of a concept I use a lot in my training. Learning to identify who's present and what their interests are can be a huge advantage in your trading. Yeah. So let's take a look at this pattern. You pick up these tails that are counter to the trend. It may not be an encompassing pattern, but it may be. They're not mutually exclusive. Yeah. They're not mutually exclusive. So somebody sold down in here, and then when it came back through, sometimes we'll call that also a slingshot. Yeah, so my trend's up, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. Yeah, tails and go, tails and go, tails and go, tails and go. Yeah, you can also add other order flow components to this that we'll cover in a minute that can make this super cool, super powerful. Because these bars close at the higher or the low, a lot of the time they make what I call one bar trend analysis. One bar trend analysis. Yeah, possible. Of the 45 bars in the session that we were just looking at, roughly 30 of the bars close at their high, about 67%. And this is a statistical advantage. It tells us something important. Now, these concepts apply to both the ultimate order flow bar and the ultimate tick bar. But as I mentioned with the ultimate order flow bar, those are actual buy and sell orders. I love to know when I've got pressure that is directly related to orders being filled. Yeah, it makes for super clean if that's what your design is doing. If it's trading where that pressure is happening. Yeah, so not as good in the counter trend, and then more related on the direct buying and selling. Yeah, so when market gets into a runaway, the ultimate order flow bars are going to show that pressure more effectively, theoretically. Yeah, so with these bars, we can theoretically determine the trend simply by looking at one bar. If we filter this with our definition of trend, the higher highs and lows, or green, red, green, green, red, green, we can see the bars close in the direction of a trend a large percentage of the time. Yeah. So at 756 on the chart we're going to look at, we have an uptrend from this point. 18 bars out of 32 close at their high with the trend 56% of the bars. If we look closer, we can see that only 7 bars close against the trend. This means almost 80% of the bars were trend directional. Yeah. When I do a statistic like this, those tend to be true in a wide variety of cases. Yeah. In other words, that's a non-random statistic. So it's telling you that these bars actually produce patterns that are not random. When you say 80%, when you see something like that, yeah, that's what it's telling you. Yeah. This sort of thing is normal for UTBs and ultimate order flow bars. Yeah. So this is some fairly complicated stuff. Yeah. But what does it really mean? What's a simple form of it? Well, it means you can tell the trend much more easily by looking at your ultimate tick or ultimate order flow bars than you can with other bar types. Yeah, that's a simple form of it. Yeah. This, of course, can be an advantage in your trading. Yeah. Which indicators work best with these bar types? Well, I'm going to, same thing as the others. Yeah, these things, as mentioned, it's not, the design here is not by accident, but I'm going to tell you here in a second, I'm going to tell you one that I really like. Yeah. These tools have been meticulously designed to work together as an integrated whole. Yeah. And then the trading room and just tremendous amounts of live use. Yeah, you can't make up for the screen time. In fact, this is a big part of our approach. We don't backtest. We actually have the experience of having done these things. Yeah. So referencing these bar works the same as what we discussed before. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. You can align them, do offsets and everything else. Yeah, you can also study blocks patterns of the way that they organize over a variety of tick levels. You know, there's another really cool one that I've been doing the last few days, ultimate order flow bars. You get a bunch of 0 tick bars, almost huge percent of the time that a market's going to turn there. You get these blow-offs. It's very cool. I don't have a screenshot of it right now, but it's something that just came to mind. Yeah. So the key of the ultimate order flow bars over the ultimate tick bars, again, those are actual market orders. If your strategy is specifically pressure based, that would be a choice for you. Yeah, that would be a choice for you for sure. Yeah, I really like using the Trap Trader Oscillator Advanced in ticks mode on an ultimate order flow bar or with bid ask mode on a ultimate tick bar. Yeah, there's a lot of great patterns with this combo, and especially with the smart dynamic zones or and or related tools, yeah, or indicators. Yeah, yeah. I really like that. Yeah. But if you already have the UTBs, you can get the ultimate order flow bars at half price on the drop-down menu at IndicatorSmart. Yeah. And the Smart Super Renko is essentially structured analysis, simple bar pattern classifications that are absolutely primary to proper scientific trading system design. Yep. Pretty cool. Let's go over some of the base concepts we've covered so far, and then I'm going to get you a link to some more learning resources. Thanks for bearing with me. Yeah. So how would you like it if you could do 1 bar trend analysis? Yeah. That's one thing we covered. How would you like if you charts plot so they correlate with price movement on the exact forces that drive price action? Very scientific. How would you like candlesticks on your intraday charts to be purposeful, meaningful, and not random? How about if those candlesticks were greatly simplified, making trading easier and more intuitive, like closing at the highs and the lows, you know, like the ones that we're seeing here? How about when inside or outside bars occur, you could tell if the market is trending or not, you know, or if traders are trapped. You know, all these are concepts that we just covered. Yeah. Or we're going through this pretty quickly, right? So you'll want to be able to see by glancing at charts if your chart is in a breakout or a breakdown mode, break up, break down, yeah. Or if you could tell if the market was trending or consolidating by looking at the charts as they occur on your, at the bars as they occur in the charts. Yeah. All these things are possible things that you can do with these, all these different bars, yeah. Or you could easily see, clearly see, identify micro patterns that make for opportunity. You can see these aren't ultimate tick bars on this screenshot here. See how the tails are on both sides? Yeah, see the tails on both sides? Those are not ultimate tick or ultimate order flow bars. They're random, random data on a bar-to-bar basis, yeah. How about if you could trade successfully on relatively small stops? Now, stops is I just spent 9 days in the trading room covering the topic of stops. It's just an incredible topic because it gets into actually every aspect of money management. But you can trade on smaller stops particularly when you're working with direct, immediate pressure situations. Yeah. That's not counter trending. That is trend trading with high pressure situations. Trading with bars that work in the way markets are structured, making trading clearer, easier, potentially more profitable. These are the benefits of price bars available through IndicatorSmart. Yeah, simply put, there's just not any other types of price bars that can do what these bars can do. Yeah, and you take all of tick replay capability, the offsets, the referencing, the bars themselves, the design of the bars themselves. It brings together a lot of capability and functionality that can really help you with your trading. Yeah, so this one's just showing some of these breakouts, encompassing patterns, tails against the trend, etc. Yeah, after green, red, green kinds of situations. High pressure. Yeah. Transform your trading, Smart Super Renko, ultimate tick bars, ultimate order flow bars. Get them. Thanks for hanging with me through this video and giving me the opportunity to share something that I'm very passionate about. If you like this video, as mentioned in the beginning, as a resource on bar patterns and applications, go to IndicatorSmart.com/PBS. It's the only way you can get there with that. IndicatorSmart.com/PBS. Yeah, price bars. Yeah. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining me on this. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There's a risk of loss trading futures. Don't use the grocery money to trade. And we'll see you again on the next one. Thank you. Thank you.